Good morning, good morning, good morning. Not so stupid o'clock, everyone. Ah! Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we get going, some disclaimers. The reason why I'm doing this morning, because yesterday had me running around like a mad idiot. See, I had to get rid of the fire hazard that was my previous microwave. It was literally shooting sparks from where it was plugging into the wall. So I went on internet, found the microwave on Home Depot. I set it for delivery. Those dumbasses somehow through their website got it confused with pickup at the store. So I had to get off the computer as soon as I got off work, call a cab, haul ass to Home Depot, and then throw my usual Monday night stream together like within minutes of coming home. So that was fun. Not. Alright. And of course, this evening we'll get back to our regularly scheduled programming. So, now for the disclaimers. Oh, wait, first off, announcement for those who follow the JD case or just general fans of the man. There is an Ask Me Anything event getting ready to go on with his Discord. Most people who know me realize I have only one question. When is the next doc you're going to do starting? What date does it come out? Yes, that's literally my only question. Literally my only question. Mainly because it would be probably another meeting Temple Grandin moment. Like, holy shit, it's a new person. I can't say words. New person alert, new person alert. And just get the silent stare for a solid 5 minutes. I'm not proud of it, alright? I can't help it. I have to brave the mall today. The mall. And if somebody I don't know talks to me, they gonna get the same treatment. Okay. Besides all that, okay. Usual disclaimers. First off, you are going to see the link in the description box right along the other side. Other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Boys Massive Archive on the subject, the templates, any ever-present and self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. Now, folks, when we talk about the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please go ahead, use the headphones, all right? Okay, so let's see what this one is, because they keep changing how these sheets are done. It's hard to see the dates here. Scalding hot. Okay, so let's move down. Are we going to give a date? Anywhere at all. Okay, we're going to move on. I'm scrolling past this. I'm trying to find. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have an edit button. Actually, you know what? I'm going to read this. This has some pertinent information. So, this is not an incident, folks, but I do believe it might be from a former employee. So, I would like to go ahead and read it. It's an article from April the 17th, 2006. Dear parents, judges, and state authorities, know that a nonverbal student with autism gets shocked for closing his eyes for more than 5 seconds while sitting at his desk. This is classified either as a major disruption or noncompliance, which are major behaviors. Staff must follow JRC rules and shock the student the same as if he screamed at the top of his lungs to intentionally disrupt class or refuse to follow directions. The excuse of the need to reduce major behaviors is used to justify shocking students for other behaviors. Do parents and authorities know this before signing permission papers for this child to be shocked? Do parents, judges, and state authorities know that some students get shocked for standing up from their seat, raising their hand, and politely asking, "I would like to go to the bathroom, please"? This is called aggression on most students' programs. For asking to go to the bathroom? Staff must follow JRC rules and shock the students the same as if they stood up out of seat without permission to attack a staff. The excuse of the need to reduce major behaviors is used to justify shocking students for other behaviors. Do parents and authorities know this before signing permission papers for their child to be shocked? Do judges, parents, state authorities know that students get shocked for going to the bathroom in their pants, even if they have been asking for the bathroom for nearly 2 hours? Oh my God. This is called a health dangerous behavior, HDB, on most students' programs, with autism called lower functioning students, oh fuck me, and with some higher functioning students too. Staff must follow JRC rules and shock the student the same as he or she went to the bathroom in their pants 5 minutes after their previous trip to the bathroom. The excuse of the need to reduce major behaviors is used to justify shocking students for other behaviors. Do parents and authorities know this before signing permission papers for their child to be shocked? Do parents, judges, and state authorities know that some students get shocked for asking to go to the bathroom more than 5 times in an hour? Asking to go to the bathroom more than once in an hour for some students is called nagging, a minor verbal behavior, and some students are shocked for 5 minor verbal behaviors in an hour. Staff must follow JRC rules and shock the student for electric shock for having to go to the bathroom 5 times, the same as if the child was inappropriately talking out 5 times. The excuse to the need to reduce major behaviors is used to justify shocking students for other behaviors. Do parents and authorities know this before signing permission papers for their child to be shocked? Do judges and the state authorities know that some students get shocked for gently and thoroughly tearing into a paper cup while sitting on the sofa watching television? Staff simply could take the paper cup away from the student and throw it away if they wouldn't get in trouble for it. Staff must follow JRC rules and shock the student for electric shock for the same as if the student was ripping the door off the walls or ripping furniture. The excuse of the need to reduce major behaviors is used to justify shocking students for other behaviors. Do parents and authorities know this before signing permission papers for their child to be shocked? Do parents, judges, and state authorities know that some students get shocked for yelling when they think they're about to get an electrical shock? Fucking horrific. Horrific. Sometimes the staff is reaching the remote control to shock a different student. They must shock two students because of the yell. Most students who, even though the major disruption is that someone is about to get shocked. Staff must follow JRC rules and shock the student with an electrical shock for yelling as if the student was yelling loudly across the room purposely to distract the classroom. The excuse of the need to reduce major behaviors is used to justify shocking students for other behaviors. Do parents and authorities know this before signing permission papers for their child to be shocked? Do parents, judges, and state authorities know that some students get shocked instinctively, trying to remove electrodes while electrode is shocking and burning through the skin for 2 seconds? Most Americans don't know this type of pain, which is severe and can leave burn marks and even bloody scabs all over a child's body. It is not bee sting. Trying to rip the source of pain off of an arm, for example, is a normal bodily reaction. Students are expected to forcibly suppress their own normal bodily reactions to fear, or else. Staff must follow JRC rules and shock the student with a second electric shock the same as if the student was trying to remove the electric device while hiding under their bed covers. The excuse of the need to reduce major behaviors is used to justify shocking student for other behaviors. Do parents and authority know this before signing permission papers for their child to be shocked? Do parents, judges, and state authorities know that a student with autism gets shocked at JRC for blowing bubbles out his lips with his saliva and sucking it back in, never touching it with his hands? This is called health dangerous, so they can shock him for it. Sticking a pacifier or something to suck into the student's mouth, or giving him a sip of water, or giving him real bubbles and a break when appropriate, or a wide variety of other methods could be used to help this child to stop unsociable behaviors instead of shocking the student. Staff must follow JRC programs and shock the student the same as if the student had spit into the table and sucked it back into his mouth, which would be health dangerous if you are worried about dying from germs and if was the student's behavior. The excuse of the need to reduce major behaviors is used to justify shocking students for other behaviors. Do parents and authorities know this before signing permission papers that their child to be shocked? Do parents, judges, and state authorities know that students can get shocked for behaviors such as pulling an arm up into a shirt sleeve and holding it inside the sleeve, or for wrapping a wrist around a backpack strap while walking? This is called health dangerous. Staff must follow JRC rules and shock the students the same as if the students were trying to kill themselves. The excuse of the need to reduce major behaviors is used to justify shocking students for other behaviors. Do parents and authorities know this before signing permission papers for their child to be shocked? Staff are suspended or fired for refusing to follow student programs. Staff are not allowed to create any other alternatives. And it goes on, folks. I'm actually going to keep reading here. How low can we go at the Judge Rotenberg Center? Questions to my former colleagues. Have you ever given students like blank autistic nonverbal room 4 electric shock for his behavior of closing eyes while at desk for more than 5 seconds? Listened to his loud cry, seen his tears, and wondered if there was a God and if God was watching? Don't doubt your feelings. Have you ever found yourself wondering whether it's morally ethical following the program, Autistic Workshop, and give him an electric shock with a GED 4, the strongest of the shock devices, just because he stands up, takes a step, raises his hand, and says, "Excuse me, I'd like to go to the bathroom, please." Don't doubt your feelings. Have you seen blank, autistic nonverbal room 4, with burn scabs all over his torso, legs, arms, some of which are bleeding, caused by the GED 4 electrodes, the strongest of the devices? I am aware of these different times when the nursing department to blank off of electrodes and devices for several weeks to let his skin heal back before putting him back on the electrodes, because they had no other places on the body left to burn. Now psychologists can truly credit themselves for reducing blank's bang head behaviors. How? Blank behaviors dropped significantly when they took the electrodes shocks for bang head that they had prescribed back off of his treatment program. Have you asked yourself whether such treatments are really necessary? Have you ever had the question in the back of your mind wondering how much you can truly trust blank and his psychologist to know what is best for the students who you love in the long term? Don't doubt your feelings. This is like someone appealing to the humanity of his fellow colleagues, and it's kind of extremely heartbreaking because we've seen some sadistic fucks throughout this report. Have you ever felt and questioned whether you should immediately resign after witnessing a fellow staff run up to blank workshop while he's appropriately working on his task and forcibly attempt to shove a plastic knife down his throat? The staff yells with angry and red face, "Do you want to swallow a knife? Do you want to swallow a knife?" While Blank is yelling and screaming for fear for his life and trying to push the knife out of his face. Someone hidden off to the side gives him an electric shock. Screams and cries of pain out in fear and pain. They used to repeat this several times per week, always when Blank was least expected it coming. This is unquestionably torture. It is inhumane. It is morally wrong to do to anybody whether you believe in God or not. This is the very best treatment that Blank and his psychologist could think of to help Blank not to be suicidal. Court approved, family approved. Blank is allowed, no counseling, and his suicidal tendencies not reversed after nearly 20 years of it. They were doing this to Blank 2 years ago. They did this to him periodically for years before that, and they will do this again to Blank in the future in their very best efforts to periodically for years before that. Blah. Train and hurt himself. Have you asked yourself if you are truly at JRC to help the students as you stand off to the side and do nothing to protest and blink and students like him? Don't doubt your feelings. Have you ever participated in or witnessed students receiving 5 electric shocks for a behavior spread out over a 10-minute period of time with someone standing outside the door with a silent timer and the remote control? That is so that the student anticipates another shock coming, but doesn't know how long until the next, so that it plays with their minds and sanity. That's torture. We don't allow torture of our enemies in the United States, so the U.S. sends our enemies elsewhere to be tortured. So did the New York legal system, roughly one half of the JRC students are from New York, where electric shock is not allowed. Have you ever questioned if you really want to be a part of it? Don't doubt your feelings. Are you aware of the JRC's past history of pinching the students you love, slapping them, putting them in instruments with flashing lights over their heads so they can't see and panic and think they are dying? Are you aware of JRC's past history of breaking ammonia-smelling pellets in students' noses so they think that they are suffocating? Are you aware of JRC student dying while strapped up to a restraint board in the past, of another dying after multiple repeated shocks? It has happened. Do you really think that the same JRC philosophy towards students still drives their treatments today? Don't doubt your feelings. Have you wondered if making appropriately 40 students in one large room count and wrap 12 popsicle sticks into bundles with rubber bands as a task for over 6 hours per day, 7 days per week, for years and years, in walls without windows, might contribute to their behaviors? Have you ever asked yourself whether better conditions could lower their behaviors without giving them electric shocks? Have you ever paused before pressing the button to give yourself a short reality check? Don't doubt your feelings. Have you ever thought of yourself and students you love as being subjects in a scientific laboratory experiment and wonder where does it lead to? Where will our world go with this data? Am I just a number? Do my students feel the same way? Do my students need a purpose? Does anybody care? Don't doubt your feelings. Have you ever seen a student get up towards the 30 shocks in a day cutoff number and ask yourself if the treatment really works for that student's behavior? Have you ever wondered if something works better than punishments and rewards paradigm? Don't doubt your feelings. Have you ever seen charts and actual improvements in student behaviors that help to convince you that you're actually helping these students? Don't let the charts fool you. Have you ever wondered why students have plans where staff must pinpoint behaviors 20, 50, 300 times per hour, such as no talking? Have you followed the treatment plan until they attacked you, then wondered if the whole restraint and strapping them to a plastic 4-point board similar to a cross was really necessary? Have you thought of the step to help students to save their faith? Stamping them to a... Hold on, sorry. This is a stumbling over words minute. Have you followed the treatment plan until they attacked you, then wondered if the whole restraint and strapping them to a plastic 4-point board similar to a cross was really necessary? Dang it. Have you thought of the steps other than pinpoints and physical prompting that you're not permitted to try to de-escalate the situation and help the students save their faith? The more pinpoints, the more students need to prove that they are in control of their lives, and their self-determination to prove this to themselves causes them to have behaviors. In the first months at JRC, the more times students attack, yell, swear, or restrain in response to the pinpoints, the better the chart looks once the court approves the electric shocks as treatment. Are these impressive-looking charts actually giving a short-sighted picture that is necessary to gain court approvals and support for shocking students? Don't doubt your feelings. Have you seen other schools for students with autism who handle severe behaviors more efficiently than JRC does, but without electric use, shocks of restraints? Yes! I've been in a fucking field, guys. They're all over the world. All over the world. I see it all the time. There's multiple different methods for treatment. Yes, even for self-injurious behaviors. I've seen them and I've seen them work. I understand parents are desperate. I understand that we can get violent. I get it. I fucking get it. But there are alternatives to this shit. Thank you. Thank you for voicing the obvious. Torture is not the answer. I have. Not only are behaviors handled more efficiently, I've seen for myself students with autism who started school with severe behaviors achieving the most remarkable accomplishments with pottery, painting, music, gymnastics, as well as hands-on math without the painful shocks. They use real hands-on materials and don't depend on touchscreen computers with pictures of circles and squares to teach students. I feel misled by the JRC psychologists to believe that shocking these students who I love is the only way to help them. Have you ever wondered if you're also being misled by the JRC? Don't doubt your feelings. Do your goddamn research. If you are actually a well-intentioned person, for the love of God, do your research, please. Okay, and we'll get into the next one tomorrow. We're getting towards the end of this particular series here, but I felt everything that was just said in those last two articles was very pertinent. Very pertinent indeed. Is asking some very, very serious questions of the folks who work at this place. A good majority of what we see incident after incident of staff that actually even go beyond the cruelty that the JRC actually approves of, case after case after case. It is only human to want and hope, like this former employee who wrote all this. Hope against hope that there are some people in there who do actually love the students, who joined on. Ignorance is bliss. You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, as far as I know, there has been an anonymous whistleblower and there has been Greg Miller. It's disheartening, folks. It breaks your heart. If I can reach anyone who's ever worked at this school and left due to the cruelty that went on there, I understand how powerful the JRC is. I understand how you might be afraid. But for the sake of those kids who are still stuck in this hellhole, I pray, please, come out. Talk about it. Talk about your experience there. It is more important than you ever realize. These folks have powerful backers. They have the most important court of law in our land actually bending over to protect these bastards so they can continue this shit with these kids. If you actually give a damn about these kids at all, if you want this inhumane shit to stop that is not even allowed on war criminals, stand up. Stand up. Do it for them. Because whatever you might fear that the JRC might do to you, what they're doing to those kids at this very fucking minute is 1,000 times worse. Please stand up. Now, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and close out. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit that like button. Hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this morning. As always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye. Also pray for me. I have to enter the unholy sanctum that is the mall to do unmentionable shopping. Pray for me. I have to deal with people. Send help. Bye-bye.